Del país, listos para luchar por usted, y si no ganan su caso, no cobran. Llame a la línea de ayuda legal ahora mismo.
Hey, welcome to Echoes of Impact with Noura. This is your host, Noura Almasri. Welcome to the show. Today, I have two amazing guests. We're going to talk to them. But before that, I want to talk about your client journey. So, your process. Do you have a process in place? Process is really important to have when you have a business, when you have a nonprofit, even at your home. But let's focus on having a process for your business. This is can happen, like what process you have in place if you walk your client journey. So when you get a client, what's their experience? How do you get the client first? Like, do you use social media? Do you have a store and they walk in? Do you just have maybe cold email? Whatever the process you do to get the clients in the door, that's where their journey will start. Then after that, you're going to do the intake. The intake can be introducing your store, or you can, if you are a service-based business, then you're going to ask them the questions to know how you can better serve them. What do they really need? They might come to you thinking they need something, but in reality, they need something else. You are the professional. They don't know what you have in place for them. What could you help them with? They want the end result. This is what you want to ask them what they want. Then you're going to recommend the process for them. Let me give you an example. I might have someone who wants to do their taxes. They come to me, they have no bookkeeping, nothing, and they want me to do their taxes. Well, a lot of people just do their taxes. Well, for me, I don't do that because in order to have a great, correct taxes, I need to ask them for their bookkeeping. If they don't have their bookkeeping, I need to tell them they need to do their bookkeeping. If they don't want to do that, then I recommend another option, which is not going to deliver the same results. But I have to tell them what they need. They're not going to know because I am the professional. I am in this business. It might seem easy to me and everyone have to know this, but the reality is no. I don't know what I need to do to get a website, for example, like the design for the website, the branding. So when I went to do my branding with my branding consultant, which you're going to see her on the show very soon, so hold on and look forward to see her on the show. She told me there's a blending blueprints. And I thought, okay, I thought I knew what it was. But then it was like 2 pages. And I was so upset when she delivered that to me. I was like, I did not expect this. I thought like I'll be able to do a website. I would be able to have a social media plan. But then she explained it to me. And apparently she explained it to me before, but it just because I did not have any prior knowledge, I did not know what to expect. So she explained it to me again, and she told me what it is and how I use it. And from that blueprint, I was able to develop a website. I was able to have a direction for social media. So it worked very well. And I'm very grateful for her until this moment. So it's your job to explain what your client needs. Then this is the first thing, what you need. What you need to set expectation and expect that your expectation is not understood as it should be. This is why you have to have things in writing. So don't just have things um, I communicated this to the clients. They know I'm delivering this. No, they might not know exactly what it means. So you need to be able to have everything in writing for you and for the client, because you maybe have some service, like you package that service especially for the clients, have some differences. You agreed for something else with each with different client based on their needs, but you might not remember 2 months from now, a year from now. Maybe the clients will not remember. Maybe you have some disagreements, but when you have something in writing, you will both refer to it, and that's going to solve any problem might rise. Another thing you want to make sure you pay attention to is, how are you receiving payments from your clients? Are you going to receive cash? Are you going to receive credit cards? Let me tell you one thing. If you have a recurring service, for me, for example, it's bookkeeping, CFO service. Um, yeah, CFO service and bookkeeping, these are the two main recurring service. For your businesses might be different. Um, it might be coaching, but I also do that for coaching as well sometimes. So if you have a recurring service, you want to make sure you have a credit card authorization in place. Don't just send the client the invoice and wait for them to pay you, because the client is busy, you are busy, and you both are going to waste your time following up with the invoice every single time, or taking the time to pay the invoice for your client. So it's gonna take time. That time can be better spent doing the service better, doing something else, recruiting more clients, working on something in your business. For your clients, they can work on their business, and they can take this worried behind, they can put it behind them, and they just focus on the business, focus on planning, focus on recruiting clients, instead of worrying, oh, okay, let me pay the invoice for Noura this month. I didn't pay it yet. Why do you have to do that? Just do it as a recurring invoice, have a credit card authorization. This way, if your clients had to travel and did not have access to the internet, maybe they are busy, they're not checking their email, you have everything in place and you are getting paid and you are delivering the service. So they don't have to wait until you get paid and they maybe get back to the country and now they have access to the internet and now they can pay you and you can do the service. So these are very important in order to know what the client journey look like. And also for offboarding, what's your offboarding gonna look like? When are you done with the client? How does it look like? Your deliverable, how does it look like? You need to set expectation. You need to make sure like how you do this business, what how you are receiving payment, everything. You have to have all the process in place. Let me tell you, even though you might be a small business, you want to act like a big corporation. Even you are not there, you might get there. Even if you're not planning to get there. But why should you have small business problem just because you don't have a system? You have a lack of process, lack of system. That's why you are wasting your time now. So don't waste your time with trying to figure out the process every time. You might have to update the process every now and then. That's fine. With every client, you're learning something new, which is totally fine. And you should expect that. You're going to learn every day something new. That's okay. And as you learn, you'll update your process. And as you hire people, there's something in place already they can start with in order to have for your client to have the same experience. So these are very, very important stuff for your business, very important for you to know how to deal with. So I want you to keep that in mind. Make sure you have a process, make sure you have um, walked on, put yourself on your client shoes and see what do they expect. Just pretend you're taking your service. What should you expect? And this is the best way to know how to deal with it. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I want to remind you one more time, I have a free challenge, 5-day challenge for your nonprofits. If you are in nonprofit already, or if you are planning to get into a nonprofit, you are going um, you are going to benefit from this 5-day challenge. You need to register though. You need to register for that challenge, and it's totally for free. You can get into my website, get into the social media. You will see the challenge, and you need to register totally for free. Again, share it with other people who might benefit from it. You're going to be able to learn how to increase your donor base, or how to establish your donor base, and how to get $10,000 within 5 days. You should be able to get that $10,000 at least to start that process with those 5 days. It depends on how much you do. I have your homework for you, and there's an opportunity for a scholarship giveaway if you join the VIP. So I can't wait to see you there. But now I can't wait for you to meet my guests for the day. I have two incredible guests. Both of them are repeating guests, and you've seen them before. I'm not going to talk so much about them. You're going to hear from them on your own. We're going to talk about an experience for one of my guests on when she started the business, and my other guest who's going to talk about her campaign. And I can't wait for you to hear from them. So don't go away. Stay with me, and I'll be right back. This is Echoes of Impact with Noura. See you after the break.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Well, here's a great idea. Donate your car now to help local veterans in your area. Yes, just make one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program. Within a few days, we'll come and remove your car for free. You can donate any car in any condition. We'll use our vast network to sell it. The proceeds raised go to help local veterans and their families. And you get a tax deduction. And all you need to do is make this free call. Clean your yard up, get rid of an old car, and help the vets. We make it easy. Make this free call now. Book your fast and easy pickup. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program now.
If you're on supplemental oxygen, heavy and awkward tanks can be a burden. Now you can leave home and leave the tanks behind with Inogen, portable oxygen therapy that moves with you.
With my Inogen, now I'm able to do the things that I've always loved. I just press the button here, and there's my oxygen.
Inogen systems are so small and light, you're free to leave the house without the hassles of an oxygen tank.
I could play golf again. I could go grocery shopping. I'm free again.
With the Inogen, I can handle my own oxygen. I can carry my own oxygen. I go anywhere with this. Look how small it is.
And right now, you can try an Inogen portable oxygen system for 30 days risk-free. Call us right now. If you qualify, we'll send you an Inogen system to use for 30 days risk-free. Your insurance may even cover your new Inogen system.
If you're on oxygen, you need to be using an Inogen.
Call 800-367-1753. That's 800-367-1753.
Welcome back. This is your host, Noura Almasri, and this is Echoes of Impact with Noura. I can't wait to speak to my guest today, my friend, Suzanne Athres. We had her here on the show before. She was talking about her campaign. She's running for Illinois State Representative District 82. Suzanne is a dynamic advocate with profound commitment to humanitarian causes and community service. She's also a founder for a nonprofit, Syrian Community Network. So I'm not going to talk a lot about Suzanne. I'm going to have her talk about her project, her campaign. So welcome, Suzanne. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Noura. Thank you for having me.
Sure. It's always great to have you here and talk about your campaign. I'm very excited about your campaign. Can you update us a little bit about your campaign? What's going on?
So since we last spoke, there's a lot of things that have happened, and so a lot of exciting things that really. So I've been knocking on doors and talking to voters and people in the district about my campaign, and I've had a lot of positive feedback and a lot of positive reaction to myself running in Illinois District 82. Illinois District 82 has always been a red district, and we're hoping that we can flip it blue. And we have a very strong endorsements also since we last spoke. So among my endorsements, our Senator Dick Durbin has endorsed my campaign, and he's been helping me and supporting my bid, my run early on. He was an early supporter. I've had another endorsement from one of the biggest unions in Illinois, which is the AFL-CIO. So I'm hoping to get more union support. I've gotten the endorsement of the Illinois Teachers Union. I've gotten the endorsement of Planned Parenthood. Those are things that are really important for us as a community. I'm a common sense gun candidate with the Moms Demand Action Group. I went through their training so that we can hopefully pass laws that are common sense laws for everyone about gun violence. So there's been a lot of movement in terms of my campaign and got a lot of support. I've been doing a lot of fundraising since then also. And I've raised a little bit over $100,000, and so the community support is there.
That's awesome and great endorsement. Congratulations about all these endorsements and the great work you have been doing. So what's the main point now you want to focus on, because we're running into the election very soon, like even though it's still in the summer technically, but it's going to come very soon. So what's your next focus point right now?
So that's a great question, because we're in July, and time is running so fast, and it's a little bit scary. So I'm focused on three main issues, which is protecting women's reproductive rights, common sense gun legislation that's to curb gun violence and to talk about community safety, and then bringing in resources for mental health for schools, nonprofits, elderly centers, things like this, and taking away that stigma within the community. So those are my three top issues. And right now, since it's summertime, like I said, I've done some fundraising, but now my main thing is to continue to meet donors. So I'm knocking on doors. And so I have an app called the Minivan. And through that, I can see all of the registered voters and their voting history. And I've been knocking on those doors, and I've had a group of volunteers who have been helping me. And so when I talk to voters, I give them my brochure. I tell them some of the endorsements I've received. I've had a lot of positive feedback. So my goal from now until the election is to knock on 11,000 doors, and that myself. And then in addition to the door knocking that's going to happen by volunteers. So by then, hopefully they can also, I'll have a lot of volunteers, and they will be knocking on doors as well.
So how can someone come and volunteer with you? That's a large number. I'm sure you need as many people as possible.
I need an army of volunteers, basically. So if people want to help and donate and support, they can go on my website, so www.suzanneforillinois.com, and you can sign up to become a volunteer. You can donate. You can read about my issues, and spread the word. Host a meet and greet. And really what it is, it's word of mouth, and people who are engaged, the more people who are engaged, the more you spread the word, the better it is. And then also make sure that you have a plan to vote. It's important that your mother, your father, all of the children who are over 18, grandma, grandpa, anyone who's a U.S. citizen and is over 18 should register to vote and should make a plan for voting. Early voting starts in late September. And then anyone can vote by mail also. So that's important. So there's really no excuse. A lot of people worked super hard for us to get the vote. A lot of people died. A lot of people in different countries don't even have this privilege to be able to cast a vote. So let's not waste it. And even if you think about it, only 100 years ago, that women had the right to vote in an election. 100 years ago, a little bit more than 100 years ago, women did not have the right to vote. And so a lot of people worked really hard. There were a lot of advocates. So let's honor the work that they did, and honor who we are. I'm Syrian American. I've never, people in Syria don't have free elections. So let's honor the people who struggle every day in this to be able to vote, and so when we should vote.
Yeah, that's really important. Like this is a leverage. Like we have to make sure like we take that we leverage the voting. We express our voice, because I see a lot of a new generation who was born and raised here. A lot of them like they don't understand how lucky
Important.
they are in this
Yeah.
country, like they can vote. Some of them thinking like maybe in some election, like we don't have to vote to just like as a statement as well. And what would you say about that as a statement
Yeah.
because of the position of the country or this stuff?
So I know that right now, especially the Muslim community, and a lot of people are hurting because of what's happening overseas, whether it's with Gaza, whether it's in Ukraine, whether it's, there's just so much going on. But I just want to tell people that there are a lot of people who are struggling, that people wish that they were in our shoes and to live in the United States, and we should exercise that right and vote. So that's foremost, that you have to vote. Voting in numbers is power. And also, don't forget to vote in local elections. Local elections sometimes are more important than the national elections. You can do a lot to change things at the local level. And as they say, all politics is local. So voting for the judges, making sure that the judges that you choose are fair and are fair-minded and follow the law. They're not extreme judges from this side or that side. Making sure that you vote for state representative like myself, and others. State politics really matters, because the state is the one that regulates, who fixes your potholes, who fixes your streets, who fixes your street lights, who fixes all of these things, the funding that comes to your schools, the taxes you pay, the small business that that you shop in. This is all local politics. And I think sometimes in the urban Muslim community or in different immigrant communities, we only tend to focus on presidential elections, when really what's more important, what affects us in our daily lives, is the local politics. So I really want to stress that all politics is local, and you should vote and educate yourself about who are the politicians who are running at the local level, whether it's judges, whether it's village trustees, your village mayor, your state representative, your state senator, the school boards, because these are the positions that affect your daily life more than you think. We always tend to skip to the president, but no, it's the local politics that matters the most.
Mm-hmm. That's really important points, because a lot of people don't educate themselves about local people who are running for campaigns, like in the local area. That think about the presidential, and like you said, like this is very important in the local level, and state eventually will affect federal. I see also in your campaign that you are pro mental health resources for schools and nonprofit. Like, can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, as someone who works in the immigrant and refugee space in nonprofit, there's no resources for people who may not speak English, or who mental health services for people who only can pay through Medicaid, or who don't have insurance. And nonprofits are always struggling to find resources for mental health support. So this is an issue that I really care about, because this is something that affects a lot of people. People go to nonprofits to solve a problem, right? They go, they need housing, they need help with jobs, they need help with after school programming with their kids. All of the programs that we interact with on a daily basis, one of the key components missing is mental health services. And if you go to schools, many schools are underfunded when it comes to counselors, when it comes to social workers, when it comes to, people who can help children, especially teenagers, thrive. We're dealing with a mental health crisis right now, especially for teenagers who are under, with this whole bullying, online bullying from social media, the different expectations that is set to us by social media, whether it's body image, whether it's clothing, whether it's traveling, there's this pressure to travel and go places and look good. And, this is adding so much pressure to our teens and young adults. And so we need more resources to combat this. Also, another thing is community safety. Everybody talks about community safety, but we really need to understand the back end and some of the root causes of why we have different situations in different communities. Why crime? Why do we have crime? It's also lack of resources and lack of mental health resources. Not only after school programming, but mental health resources and social workers and things like this that can help a community. This is why I love the nonprofit space, because nonprofits solve the problems of our day. We know how to stretch the dollar. We know how to work with people. We deal with board members. We're dealing with our staff. We're dealing with our clients, and you're always managing those expectations. And so, as someone who is now running for office, I feel that my training as a nonprofit leader has prepared me for this, because I work with all kinds of people in different levels of society, whether it's people who are the donors, the top donors, or people who are middle donors, small donors, and then all the way down to the clients who are at times low income, poverty. So I know how to work with people in different levels of socioeconomics. And you're dealing with board members and everybody, and bring in resources for the programs that are very, very important. After school programming for kids is what is really key to understanding the root cause of crime and having that support for kids.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. This is very important, and I can't wait to support you. I'm always supporting you, and can't wait to congratulate you, actually. And hopefully, we can get you back on the show soon. This is Echoes of Impact with Noura. We'll be right back.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare or private insurance, you can see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline to see if you qualify for a CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Welcome back. This is your host, Noura Almasri, and this is Echoes of Impact with Noura. We're back now with a very special guest, my friend Rosetta William. Rosetta, we had her on the show many times, not only one time or two. We had her many times, but we spoke about nonprofits and the services she's providing for them. Now we're gonna talk about other stuff, like about business. So welcome back to the show, Rosetta. How are you doing today?
I am wonderful, Nora. Thank you so much for having me back. It is always a pleasure to chat with you and get it all out.
Of course, I love having you. I think we make a great partners when we go live. So I'm grateful to have you again. We discussed before on the break, like what we're gonna talk about. Like you have been in business for so long. How long have you been in business?
So I started 8 years now. We started in 2016. Yeah, I was still working as a development associate when I started it for a private school. And I just was like, okay, I know I got to do it. I know I got to do it. But the reality is, I was scared because this is some scary stuff. You don't just decide one day with two children that, single parent, I'm about to quit this whole job and go be great. Well, I guess you do because I did.
Yeah, it does take a lot of courage to start a business. Like, where is that paycheck coming from after? What if a lot of what's mostly I know, like single mom with with two kids, as I was like single mom with two kids as well, and still growing kids now. But
Right.
so I understand that feeling. So can you tell us a little bit, like what else scared you? Like, so what was going on in your mind? Like what inside you?
Oh, wow. I'm going to tell you throughout this, let me slow myself down. I believe that having a business is one of the most intimate relationships you'll have in your entire life. Um, because it is literally you digging into those places and seeing the areas that you need to step it up, where you know this is scary, this is painful, this is sad. I mean, all the emotions come up. And I was sitting in that spot with, at the time, my son was still in high school, my daughter was young. I said, okay, well, I got to do this. And in spite of, or despite, I don't, I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, even though I'm afraid. I'm going to do it even though I don't feel like I know the things. I don't know the answers. I don't even have the questions to even try to guess about the answers. And so I was, I was afraid. I was shaking in my boots, almost frozen, to be honest.
So you just did what the book says: feel the fear and do it anyway, right? So you
Yeah,
anyway, and
it's. I'm sorry. It's amazing. I didn't recognize what courage looked like because I feel like I was like, man, I'm not courageous. People say you're so courageous. You go and do these. I'm not courageous. I be scared, y'all. I be scared, and I just go.
I was listening to someone saying the other day, if there is no fear, there's no courage. So courage exists because there's no fear. If you're not fearing, what is it? Like how are you courageous? Like fear must exist to be courageous. So yeah, you are very courageous. So take us on your journey a little bit.
Well, after I started the business, and I started out the business as a grant writer. And I was really feeling like, yes, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be this great grant writer and go out and change the world because, they call me the goose that lays the golden egg. So I'm getting grants. That's going to happen. There's no doubt about it. But it was that idea, and that I'm going to tell you like this, it was imposter syndrome. That voice in my head that kept telling me that no matter how many grants I'd ever won and no matter how many grants I'd ever been awarded, I still wasn't quite good enough to be this business owner. I still didn't have all the knowledge that I needed to move forward, right? And so I want to say I had to have a lot of trust in myself, and I had to find places of discipline where I never even knew places of discipline could be. you because it gets difficult. You start to feel, when I was sitting and listening to those voices, I could see myself slow down, slow down, slow down.
Mhm.
And when I could see myself, hearing the voices and saying, "Is that true? Okay, keep going, keep going, keep going." Asking myself, because, like I said, this is an intimate process. This is a journey that you really get to know yourself. You get to know who you are, what you're made of, and you get to make a decision if that's the life you want to live.
That's very true. And what was the push? What was your why for starting a business? Like to take that courage and really like, I am a single mom with two kids and still want to do this business. What was your why?
Oh, that's a good one. I My why is I started my career in the corporate world. I was writing these manuals, doing these things. But once I got into nonprofit and I realized, man, I had a heart for this. I have a heart for people that have a heart for people, and if you want to come out here and lay it on the line and do this work, then I want to be right there to support you. Because I'm not ashamed to tell anybody, hey, I'm probably not going to come to the soup kitchen and scoop up some soup. Maybe once, but I'm not doing it every whenever. I'm not doing that. But because that's your passion, and I know how important it is to never be hungry,
Mm-hmm.
I want to help you make sure that people are never hungry. Even if I don't come in and do it myself, I know that I'm supporting you walk out your passion, and I'm supporting you do something amazing in your community. Show a kind of love that some people just never get a chance or an opportunity to see and to take in. So that was my why. I like I said, I'm the golden goose. I lay golden eggs. I get the grants. It's not an issue. So if I know that I have that gift, then I want to share that gift with as many people that want to share their love, their hard work with anybody. I want to do that because
Mm-hmm.
this is my hard work.
That's amazing. Did you ever feel that you want to quit and don't do it anymore?
If I'm being honest, maybe 3 weeks ago, I was like, "Oh, this is done. I'm over. I can't do this no more. I'm out of here." You know, and and even when I'm having those moments of sadness, those moments of grief, those moments of wishing I would have done something different, wishing that I would have made different decisions, I have to remind myself, even in that moment, that I'm just spiraling up. You know, every time I get on this computer and I can't figure out how to make a app work or whatever, I'm spiraling up because I'm googling, I'm learning, I'm doing. I'm not just sitting. You know. So yeah, there's those moments. I'm gonna be honest. My little secret, y'all. I had like 30 games on my phone. I was like, hey, I'm not winning at this business, but I'm winning on this game. And I don't even gamble, so it was just the things that was making me happy. But at the same time, those are the moments, those are the times that you get to see who you are. This is why I say it's intimate. You get to see who you are, what kind of grit, what kind of tenacity, what kind of resilience you have. Because I could have sat there with those 30 phones on those 30 games on my phone. I could be laying up right now hearing some dings and being excited because I done won something but nothing. And I chose different. I recognize that, man, this is just a moment. This is not what it's always going to look like. And it's okay because I can learn. I can learn how to do the things that I'm so afraid of figuring out. So
Mm-hmm.
I can grow my business and take it to the next level. So I'm spiraling up every day.
Amazing. It's very important. Like what you said, like it's an intimate relationship with your business. It's really, it is. Because like you said, you're always growing, you're always learning. And this is what we're supposed to do. Like people think when we finish school, that's when we end learning and we have to do now. But if you stop learning, look how technology is evolving and getting new things every day. If you stop learning, you will be irrelevant, and therefore like you cannot grow as a person, you cannot grow your business. um, like you said, like business really is a mirror, like it shows you what's there inside you to be to work on, what skills you need to increase, what area you want to improve in your life in
Mhm.
order to take your business in the next level. Not only that, not only just take it into the next level, actually to stay in business, because most business owner fail in the first 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years max, and you've been there 8 years. That's amazing, and that's resilience, and that tells a lot about you. So
Well,
that's amazing. Thank you for doing this.
thank you for allowing the opportunity for me to do it. Because the reality is, if there wasn't the nonprofits, if it wasn't the people that had the heart to do the work, I would be irrelevant. I wouldn't be able to show up and be who I am. So I have to take that I'm very honored to be able to work with and collaborate with organizations because I know what hard work looks like. Because I'm over here putting in hard work too on my own side, looking in that mirror, adjusting. I heard once life is about taking those mid-course corrections, right? Not you gonna feel it. It's gonna. Oh, I didn't like that. That felt a little prickly. Whatever the case may be, you'll feel it. But then that's your opportunity to say, but what can I do different? How can I shift this? And you know, I feel very grateful that I get an opportunity to do that. And I feel grateful that I get an opportunity to work with organizations that want to do that, that want sustainable growth, that want to know that they are building a legacy, that their work is valuable, that we need nonprofits to
Yeah.
do the things that they do best. We need you all to show your heart. And I just want to be a part of it to help you show that heart and maybe gain a little bit more money, have better boards, create better cultures. I want you to just do a few things along the way.
That's really important. We'll be right back with you, Rosetta, after the break. Now, this is your host, Noura Almasri, and this is Echoes of Impact with Noura. We'll be right back with Rosetta after the break.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
Call 855-993-2096 right now. That's 855-993-2096.
Do you have diabetes? If you have insurance, you may qualify for a new continuous glucose monitor. With a CGM, you can continuously track your levels and trends, spend more time in range, significantly lower your A1C, and share important data with loved ones and caregivers. Most importantly, a CGM eliminates the one thing most people with diabetes hate: painful finger sticks. Take charge of your health. Order your new continuous glucose monitor today. If you use insulin and have seen your diabetes care provider within the last 6 months, you may qualify for a CGM today. We'll do all the insurance paperwork and deliver your new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost to you. Medicare and most insurances cover continuous glucose monitors, so don't wait. Have your insurance handy and call the CGM Health Hotline now.
All right, welcome back. This is Echoes of Impact with Noura, and this is your host, Noura Almasri. We were talking with Rosetta William before the break, and we were talking about how intimate it is to be in business and how resilient she was to stay in business for 8 years. Welcome back, Rosetta. We're gonna continue the conversation right now. So yeah, sure. So let me know, what can you share? We're doing this, guys, for you because we sure this is gonna inspire some of you. Maybe someone now feeling, oh, okay, I don't want to stay in business. Well, we're doing this to tell you you're not alone. We thought about it. I thought about it one time. Okay, should I just go find a job? Rosetta thought about it. She mentioned 3 weeks ago after 8 years. So it happens. Did Did you feel this way like before? Like when you just started, did you feel like, what did I do?
Of course. You know what? Let me slow myself down. I was really blessed when I first started business. I started on a small island. I'm out here in Hawaii, and I was on Kauai, and I had already been in the grant writing realm. So I was very fortunate to be able to come out, and people have already knowing, oh yeah, yeah, we want to work with her, we want to do this, those kind of things. So I was fortunate in that way, right? To be able to really start the business. I think I got my first client, and we took off. We went, we did the things, worked together for years. Um, but what I recognized as I've moved away from Kauai, seen the world a little bit, had some stumbles, did some things. I was like, oh, well, it's done, it's done. I got to just get the lesson from that. I realized that I had spent the majority of my ownership or my tutelage or as working in the business. I had not spent time working on the business. I had not spent as much time as I believe it required to build the business. And so that's why 3 weeks ago I was like, I just need to go get a job because man, this is a lot. but then I remember, no, nobody's gonna hire you because they're gonna look at you and say, girl, you ain't staying here. This is not what you're gonna do with your life. And so I said, okay, no, maybe I need to work on or in my business. I need to put in the time, and I need to put in the effort to learn these things. To, like you said, technology is moving. And if I don't move with it, I'm going to be obsolete. And what was happening is it felt like all the things was happening too fast. Oh goodness, I got to learn this, I got to learn that, I got to figure out this website stuff, I got to figure out this. So I would say that was probably my number one issue. I didn't trust myself enough to trust someone else to help me do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so here I am taking on all of these things that I have nothing, I don't know nothing about SEO. I'm like, what? Okay, maybe. Is that what I'm supposed to do? But I didn't trust myself enough. And I didn't have enough information, right? I didn't do the research when I would hear these little things go, yeah, check this out. I didn't do that research. I just was so busy. I got to write this grant. I got to write these policies. I got to do these things. And I'm just in there doing. And I wasn't spending the time. I wasn't caressing it and reminding myself, oh, set yourself up for later. I was in that busy doing mode. I owned a business, but it's almost like I didn't, because I was still punching that clock of I gotta do.
Yeah.
I didn't allow myself to let it flow. And I think it's a process. It happens. I don't think that this is going to be the last time, but I think that what happens is every time this cycle happens of me feeling like, now let me go ahead and take that back out the ethers, because you know what? I plan to not have that happen anymore. However, what I will say, what I've noticed is every time in the past that I've had that cycle of feeling inadequate, unable, not knowing, unworthy of all those things, every time that's happened, and I just did it anyway, that it was a spiral up, that I learned something every time. And so I'd like to believe that I'm able and that I have or I am integrating that learning so that I can pull back into my toolbox and say, nope, you're okay. You got this. You can trust this. Yeah, you may not know that right now, but you will. Because the answer is already here. Either you're going to figure it out, it's just going to drop into your whole soul, or you're going to find it on the internet. But somebody going to tell you, you're going to know what you need to know to move to the next level. You'll feel the confidence and the comfort to ask the people to find those to help you. You'll find that trust within yourself to be able to say, hey, I'm going to tell you, I Nora, we worked together, done the things. Man, I say, hey, I trust Nora completely. She know all the things. It is by her knowledge that I am able, because I recognize the things that I do when I'm not feeling like I can. I'm like, oh no, I don't know how to do that, so I'm just not going to, and I push it back and I push it back. So
Mhm.
trusting myself and being able to hear when somebody's telling me, hey girl, get your life together. What is you over there doing? You playing games? Put that game down. Put that phone down. I, I appreciate that. And all of us fall a little short of glory. So sometimes I do get a little offended. And then I'm like, oh man, I hate that you're right though.
Yes, it's really important to keep yourself like, focused. And it's okay. Sometimes we get distracted because we're a human being at the end of the day. People think you have to get it straight, like no looking around, but you're a human being. You're gonna get distracted, but it's just a matter of getting back on track. That's
Hmm.
all it takes. And stay focused. And even whenever anything comes in the way, you come back and stay focused again. And we don't learn something without doing. Like there's always something new to do. Like being on video, being on TV, it's not something you are born with. You actually have to learn it, have to evolve, and have to every time you do it, like you do it better because you're learning. And this is with the business, this is with nonprofit, this is with anything new. It might take you few hours to do now, but it's going to take you 1 hour to do later. So, and you
Hmm.
mentioned something like very important is to work on your business. And you actually this is a very great point. You mentioned this. And I think a lot of us as business owner get ourselves, okay, we are not working on our business. And when you don't work on your business, then no clients come on the way, because and you're working on the current clients, so you find a way, okay, what's happened now, like, because it takes time for the clients to close. So they find you, they have spent time listening to your free stuff, talking to you maybe on one-on-one, and then until you actually until you be able to close them when they need you, it takes a while. So if you don't keep contacting people, working on your business, having those marketing materials, those sales call, you're gonna find this period of time you don't have a business, you don't have business coming, and then this is when you feel a little bit discouraged. So it is really important. And I know, Rosetta, you have been doing a master class. Not only that, your last month, or not last month, July master class is already sold out. And you have done it last week and it's sold out. It's been great. So when is your next master class coming up?
Oh man, yes. Um, the next masterclass, August 8th. The registration will actually open July 18th. I
Mhm.
am really excited to just share this information. I want to give it all away for free because I want to see nonprofits just do the greatness that they designed to do. So I want to give you as much as I can. And so yeah, August 8th is the next master class. July 18th, the registration opens and you can register on the website or through Eventbrite. So it is, whew, we are moving things along.
That's awesome. And it's been doing great. And I know like your July one was awesome and you had so many people registered, so you couldn't take any more. So guys, you have to register as soon as it's open so you have a space, because Rosetta love to give you her attention when you are in her even for free. So can you actually tell us a little bit about the masterclass for those who did not hear from you before?
Oh wow. So this masterclass called Board Basics and Beyond, it really, I see it as it sets the foundation. This is what your board is responsible for. This is how you can and how you should move forward in terms of policies and procedures that ensure that you're not tying your hands, right? Because you want to be able to move and make changes. And so we're talking about governance, this strategic decision making, financial stewardship. We are talking about the things that are most important when you first start a board. Um, I've designed the masterclass so that it's for newcomers and those that have already been in the nonprofit sphere for a while, right? Because we need to continue our education in that sphere. We need to really understand that it's our board that is leading this ship. And if our board is not actively engaged, they're not creating a culture, they are not moving and having this vision, then our nonprofits suffer. And you see them suffering from how much they are, getting in annual giving proceeds, where their donations are coming from, how much they're getting in grants. You see them suffering. And I just want to share with them that you don't have to. You don't have to suffer like that.
This is really important because I've seen a lot of people who join the board of nonprofit. They don't really know what to do, but they have the heart for the mission. So that's why they joined, or they want to support the founder. So, but they don't know what to do, what their roles is, and this is very important. This is the first what I would say, like the first line on the nonprofit would be the board member, and then they are responsible for the governance. They are responsible for a lot of things. So, what's one tip you want to tell them before we end for today?
Clarity and consistency. I know this one is all together though, but as you are forming your boards, make sure you have a clear vision and then be consistent to walk that vision out. It's more than just the mission. It's the mission, and it's the mission and how this particular group of individuals will come together and walk it out and make it happen.
Thank you so much, Rosetta. Guys, go ahead and register for the upcoming masterclass for Rosetta. You're not going to regret it. Like whether you are new or seasoned in the nonprofit world, you're going to get value, tons of value actually from her. Like I said, her previous masterclass already sold out. So you don't want to miss this opportunity this time. So with that, we'll see you after the break. This is Noura Almasri, your host, and this is Echoes of Impact with Noura. We'll be right back.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone low-cost airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
Thank you guys for being here with me today. Don't forget to be here again next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central. I can't wait to see you. In the meantime, I want you to email me if you have any question. If you want to come on the show, I'll be happy to bring you on as a guest. And if you want to see something in the show, I would love to hear from you. You can email me at hello@echoesofimpact.net. It's hello@echoesofimpact.net. Until next time, keep making an impact.
This has been a Now Media Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem